What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M Boxing channel. And yesterday, for Valentine's Day, we were blessed with a body shots. Everybody was taking body
Oh,
shots, if
that's
you know
true.
what I
That is
mean,
true.
last night, you know? Yeah, but
Yeah,
yesterday was
literal
a
body
real,
shots.
literally, inside the ring and outside the ring, if you know what I'm talking about. But let's go over this crazy fight card, man, because we were watching it from start to finish. And I'm not gonna lie, I was extremely entertained from beginning to end. How about you? What are your thoughts on the whole night?
It's a pretty good card, except for the last, except for the main event was supposed to be the card. But hey, it's boxing and it happens, man. It's you get an off day, or the guy's just oh shoot,
Oh, your camera's
and
having
I
an
got
off day, that's
knocked
for
out.
sure.
Yeah, no, but you there's an off day for for a boxer. That's all it takes. There's only one night for you to perform. There's no, it's not like the NBA where there's 7 games for you to win it. But that's what happened in the main event, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but first things first, man, let's talk about the performance from Jared Anderson versus Marius Callias. I'll start, man, in my opinion. Bacoli changed them, man. I think Bacoli changed them. I expected a little bit more from Jared Anderson. I was expecting him to put Marius out, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed in Jared Anderson, his comeback fight, and it was mid in my opinion. What do you think, man?
It's it's hard to say because it's after that loss, it was a pretty devastating loss. He got knocked out by the man's Bacoli. Um, I'd say it's a good thing he went what 10 rounds. However, he was a little gun shy in my opinion. In my opinion, he probably could have gotten that guy out what after round 5, like towards the middle rounds, but he didn't. He even his coach was telling him to throw a little bit more because you're gonna get him out of there. And although he was winning convincingly, he was boxing him well. I just thought Jared Anderson boxed a little bit more, rather than actually trying to get him out of there, which is okay in my opinion. Like I said, it's his comeback fight. But yeah, it's a mid performance in my opinion, but you got to give it to him because it's his first fight back after that devastating knockout. Now we'll see how he performs the next fight. Now he got to build up, right? He can't keep having that same performance against these guys that we don't know because you're always just gonna fight these guys. You're not gonna get another big fight. So I expect him to do way better than this fight, his next fight. But we'll see how he does.
We'll see for sure, man. And then the next fight, Nico Ali Walsh versus Juan Carlos Guerra Jr. It was a tough pill to swallow to see him lose by split decision because it was a close fight. But man, this sucks, you know?
Yeah, Top Rank's been trying to build his name. Now he has 2 losses, and to be honest, I think he actually lost that fight. He definitely is talented, but hey, this is boxing. There's a lot of, you know, we got to get back to that mindset where a loss won't actually ruin your career. A lot of greats have losses. His grandfather got a bunch of losses, right? But he just has to bounce back, go back to the drawing board and get a few wins here and there and hopefully get a bigger fight.
Yep, and the next fight, man, this is the start of the craziness, like the madness for the whole night, man. Rohan Polanco versus Jean Carlos Torres. This fight was incredible.
Rohan is a
Incredible.
dog, a dog. This guy got power in both hands. He kind of reminds me of Pitbull, the way he fights, but he's a little bit more technical. I mean, what do you think about him? That's my first time seeing him fight.
Dude, same here, and this was a great introductory fight in my opinion because his performance, all his shots perfectly placed. Like this guy's accurate,
Yeah,
extremely accurate, and the way he put Jean Carlos Torres out, like I'm glad the
scary.
ref was there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was very scary because that's the kind of knockouts. Well, not those are the kind of fights that take people out, like that end
yeah,
you, like literally end you. Like
yeah.
if they kept going, he would have had permanent brain damage. So thank God the ref was there. That's for sure.
That's what I called you're too tough for your own good because if you were to just to go down, it would have been done. But you're too tough now. You're not down, but you're still taking a lot of punches, unnecessary punches. So kudos to the ref for stopping him. But yeah, Rohan is a beast, man. And 147 is up, put on notice. Bryan Norman Jr. is with Top Rank. he's the champion. So that there's a lot of up and coming 147 pounders, man. And I think after Terrence Crawford, that era, even the Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence era, man. I think we need to see more exciting fighters in the 147 division because Boots is probably leaving soon, which I really expect him to.
I hope so, man. I hope so. He needs to, bro. He's getting too big, man.
Yeah,
And then way too big, bro. The next fight, man. Abdullah Mason versus Manuel Jaimes. Incredible knockout.
what a guy. What a
Wow.
kid. What a kid.
20 years
What a
old?
Yeah, pretty young, man. And we had him as our prospect of the year last year, but as what we expect, he can't be the prospect of the year again. You can't just be prospects every year, right? You can't be the up and coming fighter every year. So now you got to get a bigger fight and step up in competition, and that's exactly what he did. Jaimes is no joke, man. He fought Rolly, went to the decision. Although he lost Rolly, he was a quote unquote former world champion. You know who he fought. Pitbull fought Tank. He about to fight Ryan Garcia, man. So Rolly's a well-known, experienced fighter, and then he fought Manuel. And what did Abdullah do to Manuel? Make him look like an
Yeah.
amateur. Now he's with his last fight he improved a lot because obviously he kind of went to war his last fight, getting knocked down. But I think that taught him a lot, and that just made him better. And that's exactly what happened. He was more defensively sound, but we got to remember this: like he wasn't gun shy. He was still
Mm-mm.
as sharp as he is. However, he's just sharper defensively, and that's a scary, scary Abdullah Mason. So I expect him to do more.
Yeah,
Step
that
up in
knockout was
competition.
nuts. Bro, that knockout was crazy, man. He served them a two-piece egg and ham
Stepping back.
sandwich. Bro,
Stepping
stepping
back.
back, yeah. The whole night, the whole night. It seems like every fighter, that's what they
Step
planned. They,
back
they
body
prepared
shot.
for. Yeah, it's like what's going on in here? Speaking of step back body shot, man, we'll talk about that soon. But the next fight, Vito Mielnicki Jr. versus the Irishman Connor Coyle. These two guys are tough as nails.
They were.
Back to back fighting, inside fighting, you name it. Heavy shots, both of them eating them. In my opinion,
That
Vito
Irishman is
should have won.
tough. In my
Oh,
opinion,
very
too,
tough.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he should have won. It was a close fight, but I thought he edged it out. It was his first fight at 160. I think they should. It is exciting, though. I think fans will be okay watching a second fight and Vito hopefully closing that chapter. I think they should do a rematch, in one of these type of cards as well, just to actually close the chapter on that. If not, Vito can move on, fight another 160 pounder. But we got to remember the champion there is Janibek, and he got to be able to work his way up, And I feel like that was a good challenge. Although I thought he won, he got to close that chapter and move on to a different contender. So we'll see what he does.
Yeah, and we were discussing this yesterday during the fight too. Like, is he prepared for someone like Janibek? Is he
Yeah,
prepared to keep climbing up? In my opinion, I think he needs to get like like at least two, three more fights, get used to 160. Because
yeah.
man, Connor took a lot of big shots. His face
That
at the end of the fight, I'm like, damn. But was he able to wobble him, put him out?
no,
It's
but it's
tough.
hard to say because Connor's a tough son of a gun too, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But Vito looked good at 160. I'd say that. Like his body, he's not as dehydrated. He's a big kid. He's a big kid. So I think like Benavidez and Morel, their first fight at 175, they fought at a real 160, a 175 pounder at the time, and they couldn't get him out, and they couldn't even hurt him, right? So I think that's the same as Vito. He just moved up. But the thing is with him, he's young. So
Yes.
he will accumulate and he will get all the muscles back, and I think he'll do good at 160.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're true. That's very true. Now the co-main event, man.
It's a good
Beautiful
one.
work of art. Xander Zayas versus Spomer. Wow. Incredible work by Xander,
Too
man. Just
easy.
that was a boxing masterclass. If someone wants to like learn or like just watch and learn how beautiful boxing is, Xander Zayas. Watch this fight. Technically sound. He he was slippery in my opinion. He wore
Yeah.
Vaseline all over his body. He could not get hit. Bro, that was just unbelievable in my opinion. What were your thoughts on this, dude?
I thought it was pretty easy. It's an easy win for Sander. Um, he was being him. He was able to set up the jab. The guy had a powerful jab too, but Xander was able to neutralize it right away. And he was being Xander after. Once he got comfortable, it was just too easy. He was able to. I'd say that Xander's defense is underrated.
Hmm.
Because the guy had a powerful punch. He actually hurt Xander. He
The
wobbled
right
him.
hand. Hmm.
But kudos to Xander, he was able to get back up and fight the way, like, continue to fight how he was fighting, and able to get the knockout win towards the end. But yeah, he was able to adjust being hurt. So we've seen, now we've seen that he has the ability to get back up, or not even get back up, to recover pretty quickly. And yeah, I thought it was a good win. Now, what I'd say though, I think it's time for him to step up in competition. You know, he's also young. These guys are crazy young. But obviously, you want to be able to see him against bigger fights. He was supposed to fight who? I think it was who was supposed to fight Virgil, Nariad Card, or Madrimov, something like that. But yeah, 154 is stacked, man. I'm. It's hard. He's probably not ready for those killers yet. But a step up in competition will be good. Brian Castano will be good.
Yes.
That one that Charlo fought. Um, just the Lubin fight, just those step up before these killer fight. I think he's ready for that. And then, depends on how he does. Then he might be, ready stepping with the Wolves, but not yet. I'd say it's pretty early in his career. He's still very, very young, so we'll see. We'll see how he does, and I think he has a bright future.
He definitely does, man. Now the main event, very underwhelming. I expected fireworks.
Ah,
I expected the businessman to really negotiate his way to a win.
yeah,
But man, Denis Berinchyk versus Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn, man, like he looked huge in this fight.
damn.
Way stronger. Way stronger than Berinchyk. He was manhandling the dude.
He was at least what? I Probably at least 160 pounds that night. 155 to 160. He was definitely the bigger guy.
Yeah, way bigger, dude. Like lengthwise and size wise, bro, like
Yeah.
he just has the upper advantage against Berinchyk. Berinchyk, it looked like an extremely off night. I don't want to say it's an off night because he traveled long and far just to take an L. No, I just think, in my opinion, I think Keyshawn is just levels above Berinchyk. He had no answer for anything.
Shout outs to Keyshawn because I thought this was going to be his toughest fight.
Hmm.
Stepping up in competition. Obviously, he didn't look like he did, but on paper, he was fighting a world champion that beat Navarrete. Also, but I mean, you got to argue that Navarrete was the smaller guy coming in. He moved up to fight to get that belt, but he lost. Um, he's still world class fighter. Berinchyk is a Olympian. He's from Ukraine. These guys are killers. He trains alongside with Loma, Usyk, and all those guys. That's why I thought he was going to give Keyshawn a run for his money, but turns out I don't know what he was doing, just being honest with you. Like, he was fainting, yeah, okay, that's obviously the Eastern European style, but I don't know, he was doing some, like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, he looked like Conor McGregor there. He was doing some hammer fists. I didn't know what the game plan was, to be honest with you. Keyshawn, on the other hand, just used his size. He didn't even step back. He was just taking the punch. I guess we can call them punches. And he just stood his ground and eventually got the knockout, which is surprised me because he just fought like he definitely fought like the bigger guy.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed too is just Keyshawn. He just controlled the ring. He had
Yeah,
no respect for Berinchyk, none at all. And we said this before. We'll say it again, man. Earlier today, having Terrence Crawford in your corner in the crowd, literally a cheat code.
yeah,
What happened? Take a step back. He hit the body. What do you do? He take a step back. Boom, boom
both
to the
sides,
body.
both sides.
Boom. Boy is out.
Nah,
buddy. That was unbelievable. But I'm pumped for Keyshawn Davis, man. So 135. Now that he has a belt, he has options. Who
it's
wants it?
crazy. 135 is now, well, it's now, it got even stacked. We got, so the champions, we got both Davises, we got Tank and Keyshawn. Even that fight right away is gonna be crazy. Shakur, although he said he's probably not gonna fight Keyshawn because pretty much the same the same trainer. They train the same gym and all that. They're boys. And then we got Loma. Um, what's next for Keyshawn then? What do you think with all these champions that in his division?
Bro, unify. Take another easy belt from the Ukraine, right? Go for Loma. Easy. See what happens. Will Loma reavenge his countrymen? That was gonna be a good fight,
That's
that's
a
for
good
sure. Cause
storyline too.
right?
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's hard because now we're thinking that Loma's gonna be a step up. Like a what do you call that? Like a step up fight. Even though he's kind of already retired, is what he said. We don't know what he's gonna do, but I agree. I agree. I think that's a good step. That's a good storyline right away. That'll sell because Loma's trying to avenge his countryman, and Loma is Loma.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that'll be a good fight. If you don't get that, obviously, no question. Davis versus Davis. You got Tank versus Keyshawn. That'll sell. That definitely sell. The whole hood gonna be in there. You know what I mean? So I think it's. I think there's a lot of options for Keyshawn. I think he should unify one or twice if he can get both. Beautiful. And then after that, I think it's time to move up. He might even move up though. The thing is, he looks so big, he probably drain himself to make him 135. So I won't be surprised if he moves up to 140. If he moves up to 140, obviously don't get those champions yet, man. We got Steve in the cut. I think that'll be a good fight. 140, Steve versus Keyshawn, top rank in the eye of the tiger. I think that's a good fight to make. So it'll be interesting. And he's definitely made noise now. So we'll see what he does.
Yeah. Or a Teofimo fight. Teo's been trolling the whole
Well,
time.
that's they're already kind of starting
Yeah.
that talk, right? So like I said, there's a lot of options for this kid now, and the way that he showed me, well, he showed us last night with that performance proves that he does belong, and he is now the world champion. So shout outs to Keyshawn Davis, man. The sky's the limit for you, kid.
Dude's popping, man. So let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Was that last fight between Berinchyk and Keyshawn underwhelming? Was Keyshawn just way too good for him? Who's next for Abdullah Mason, man? You let us know in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, we're at the opposite of in.